Hi, I'm Kat, and today I'm showing you how to make these little miniature egg cartons. I started with 2 same-size rectangles of clay. This could be scrap clay. And then I made 6 balls. Take the balls and roll them just slightly so that they make kind of an oval. And then go on ahead and bake the balls. Not the rectangles. When they're finished with baking, go on ahead and cut them in half, and this just allows you to cut them evenly without any sliding and misshaping. And then I tried them out on my rectangles to make sure everything fit. And then when I had them positioned the way I wanted, I used a little TLS to secure them. Don't bake the rectangles yet. Why do I keep calling them triangles? Go on ahead and use your ball tool to make whatever designs into the top of the lid that you'd like to make. So I beveled the sides and I put a little crease in the top. Then I bake both pieces after finishing up the bottoms and the tops the way I like them. And now I'm keeping mine pretty simple. And then I put the top on another layer of clay. Cut at a slight angle. This top needs to be about the same size and height as the actual carton part, the nest part where the eggs are kept. And then I baked them and made molds. So here are my molds. For the styrofoam looking trays, I used a translucent base clay with some like a seafoam green color mixed in with it. And then I used my ball tool to press this into the corners of the clay. I trimmed off all the excess, and then I pressed it in so that I can keep it as thin as possible inside the mold. And then I cut off the excess with a knife. Then I use my needle tool and cut in just the little notches where it closes and opens. And I have to note that these are American egg cartons. I know that in other countries, and I know I have viewers from other countries, the egg cartons look a little different, but in America they look a little like this. So the bottom portion, the nest part where the eggs are kept, I just ran the clay in there, put a sheet of clay in there, and then use my ball tool to run over it, just so I kind of have an idea of where the actual indents are for the eggs. And then I push them in a little bit further. Don't worry if you stretch it too thin. You can straighten that up here with some scrap clay, and just push the scrap clay into any place that looks a little thin where you can see the mold putty underneath. And then bake those. And then I just made a small little flap to go on the front. I secured it with TLS and added the 2 little buttons on the front to keep it, to let it open and close. Then for the recycled paperboard one, I use a single sheet of 2-ply toilet paper. Yes, toilet paper. My son calls these potty napkins. And I ripped it in half so that I only had 1 ply. And then I cut the ply into 8s, so it's in little thin rectangular shapes. And then I push that into the mold, and don't worry about getting this in correctly, it's going to ruin itself. And then I took water mixed with some glue and sprayed it down, and then I'm just going to use the ball tool to kind of push it into the corners. Don't worry if anything rips or tears, this is really fine. There are going to be several layers in here. Here's layer 2. And all in all, I think I did about 6 layers in one, but I really could have standed to do probably about 8. And then for the carton itself, I made sure I had some glue mixture in each one of them. And then I put little tiny hole punches of paper in there. And I kept layering between a sheet of paper, a single sheet, and then the little hole punches just to secure the carton portion, the egg nest portion. And then I baked these in the oven at 150 degrees for about 10 minutes, and that had them fully dry. But if you need to air dry them, that's fine too. It'll probably just take a couple of hours. And then once I had them dry, I pulled them out, made sure they were secure enough, and then I cut off the excess paper along the sides. And then I took some paint in brown, like 3 drops of brown, 1 drop of black, and put that in with my glue mixture and sprayed my cartons to dye them. This is just that imitation, that kind of paperboard stuff made of recycled paper that you see our cartons made out of very often in the States. And then I secured them with a sheet of paper as a hinge. If you want to keep it closed, like I did with the yellow one, just close it and glue it in place with TLS. But if you want it to open, you can use paper to open and close it as the hinge. Here's everything together with little eggs. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.